I'm Joshua Milos, the chairman of the Apparel, Footwear, and Fashion Special Interest Group, and thanks for coming today. We're really happy to have you here for the first webcast in our SIG post-Sapphire Now ASUG annual conference. Just as the SIG chairman, I would just like you to keep in mind and keep an eye out for our industry SIG emails that come out monthly. We'll be announcing additional webcasts shortly. We're pleased to have OpsVeda here today to talk about real-time allocation runs, fill rate optimization, and inventory disposition for apparel, footwear, and fashion companies. If you've been to any of our recent SIG meetings, you'll remember the OpsVeda team hearing about their passion for these topics and the industry in general. I'd like to welcome Vikas and Sanjeev from OpsVeda. They'll be our presenters today. And with that, let me hand it over to Sanjeev Gupta from OpsVeda.
Thank you so much, Joshua, and thank you, Lauren. Hello, everyone. My name is Sanjeev Gupta. I'm the founder and CEO of OpsVeda. As Joshua mentioned, we have very specific passion for the apparel footwear industry. We have focused on your industry for over 4 years now. The company itself is founded by some of the ex-SAP folks. Real-time intelligence for business users, for users who make hundreds of decisions every single day. So that's who we focus on. And specifically, I am pleased to be talking about the apparel, footwear, fashion industry. We have a fantastic session scheduled for you today. We have a few slides followed by a live demo of the solution, and then we will wrap it up with a few Q&A questions. Along with me, I have Vikas.
Hello, everyone. Thank you again for taking time to join this exciting session today. We bring to you an exciting, innovative solution. Sanjeev and I will be talking to you today about how OpsVeda customers across the industry, and in particular the apparel, fashion, and footwear, are benefiting from our real-time supply chain visibility and actionable intelligence solution. But before that, a short introduction about myself. My name is Vikas Rajput, and I'm part of the OpsVeda leadership team, responsible for customer success right from the beginning of our relationship to, acquisition and through ongoing value realization and retention. Like most of my colleagues at OpsVeda and many of you on the call today, I've spent a couple of decades in the SAP ecosystem as an SAP customer, as an SAP service partner, and as an SAP employee myself. Pretty much all the time have been focused towards customer-facing roles in delivery and service. During this time, I have been involved in implementing SAP, AFS, and some other solutions in various industries, and in particular to AFS companies such as Oakley, Nike, and BCBG. Here, the tail end of the solution overview and demo session today, I'll spend some time sharing with you how at OpsVeda we follow an approach that is at least 5 times faster and hence 5 times less expensive than the traditional deployment. Anyway, without further ado, Sanjeev, back to you.
Thank you, Vikas. So as we move forward, one of the reasons why we focused on the apparel footwear industry so much is because the challenges are pretty significant. And as we talk about these challenges, a few things to highlight. Recently, there was a survey that was done of various fashion retail companies. And in the survey, these companies were quizzed around what were their biggest challenges, right? Production cost, sourcing cost, significant number of vendors that you are sourcing products through, a significant number of manufacturing locations from where your products are made. That came out as one of the most significant challenges. Meeting consumer demand, being able to predict consumer demand, being able to allocate to specific customer demand, being able to manage supply chain risk. These were some of the key elements that were highlighted. And I'm sure some of you may have been respondents to this survey as well. So as we look to these challenges, we believe that real-time visibility that can enable your business users to take certain actions before some of those challenges impact your business is critical to change the outcome for your business. So today, in this 1-hour session that you have decided to spend with us, we would like to highlight what real-time visibility is specific to your industry and how that can help you mitigate certain risk and enhance scale for your business. So what really is OpsVeda? So OpsVeda is a real-time operational intelligence and supply chain visibility platform. With this visibility, we attain this visibility with the help of continuous monitoring and alerting based upon all kinds of transactions and business events that is streaming from across your supply chain. So capture data from across your supply chain, of course, phenomenal integration with your SAP, AFS, and retail system, but capture data from across your supply chain, including partners and other systems, and be able to provide storyboards which will help your business users make certain decisions in real time. The solution also serves as an information hub which streams data live and is able to predict certain challenges and is able to prescribe certain challenges specific to your business needs. Now, the solution that we do have spans across a gamut of functions, spans retail inventory visibility, retail fulfillment, shortages, it spans order fulfillment, it spans procurement, it spans logistics, it spans inventory management, visibility into manufacturing and how your vendors are doing. We will probably not focus on all of these, but I would like to at least highlight today in this session, demonstrate to you how OpsVeda helps you with respect to sales, procurement, logistics, and inventory. Now, the opportunity that this presents for your industry translates itself in the form of managing leakages that your business sees every single day. So every single day, each of us see revenue and margin leakage, either due to out-of-stock situations or due to new season, new sets of products, and these products are undersold, which means I'm going to be eventually left with significant amount of inventory. If I don't fulfill on time, I might have some challenges around penalties, customer penalties, expedites, missed shipments. We are trying to stream live data, analyze that data in real time as it comes in to help you minimize some of these leakages and also help you capture opportunities and reduce the customer chargebacks and penalty that sometimes your business incurs. And ultimately, it's about happy consumers. So if we manage our supply chain, we get to make sure that our consumers are delighted. We get to make sure that they buy product before it becomes on-sale product. And I think through that process, we create value for our company. So let's talk about, there are lots of intelligence tools, lots of business intelligence. As Vikas mentioned, many of us have spent decades in the SAP ecosystem. We have seen that things take a long time to implement. Things are not always easy. Business wants certain capabilities. They have to document it. It eventually goes to IT. 6 months later, maybe some solutions come out. So as we were thinking about this session, we said, what are those 10 things on which businesses are spending, especially in your industry, businesses are spending hours every single day? So some of you may be from IT, some of you are from business. You probably know that that apparel footwear industry, especially those running on SAP AFS, have to deal with a lot of spreadsheets. There are a lot of spreadsheets flying around, and users are collecting data from various sources, and then they are able to get to that decision point. 3 hours later, I come to work. 3 hours later, I make all types of analysis, and then I take certain actions. So here are 10 things that I want to bring to you that OpsVeda enables real-time. And when I say real-time, it means as of this minute. So real-time allocation preview. Every AFS customer that we have met with over the last 4 years complains about allocation runs, which could take 4 hours, 8 hours, once a night. In OpsVeda, we enable allocation preview for you in real time, not for one transaction, but for your entire business. And that is made possible with the help of a unique data model that we have created. It is also made possible based upon the real-time integration, real-time streaming of data that we do from your backend SAP, AFS, and ERP systems, and so on. Time-phased fill rates. When JCPenney says, here is the POM, and under that POM there are so many different POs, and under those POs there are so many different sales order line items, and so on. And then they say that you need to ship 85% fill rate against this POM. Your business users have to do a lot of analysis in spreadsheets to figure out which transactions are short. Now, within OpsVeda, in real time, the system tells you today your POM fill rate or PO fill rate or order fill rate might be 76%. Your customer wants 85%. Next Wednesday, it's going to be 85%. And guess what? Next Friday, it's going to be 100%. So we are arming your allocators or your account services reps to know exactly when the system will have what kind of fill rate so that you can make an informed decision. Go inform the customer saying, dear customer, I can't ship this Friday, which is what your order calls for. If you wait till next Wednesday, it's going to be 85% or it's going to be 100% next Friday. Would you take that? So through that process, we are trying to help you enhance revenue. Fulfillment exceptions. There are all kinds of exceptions in your process. OpsVeda enables real-time visibility into those exceptions and provides an ability to action them. Shippable transactions. I come to work. I'm looking at what is shippable, what is not shippable. Positive ATS, negative ATS. ATS being available to ship. Negative ATS means sum total of all current and future demand exceeds sum total of all current and future supply and inventory. And certain higher priority customer has been denied inventory. So if Those kinds of analysis, which often take hours, we are trying to convert them into real time so that your users can take that information and go make a different outcome for your business rather than spend 50% of their time analyzing how to expedite or how to address certain challenges. Transactions that are approaching cancel dates, sometimes there is duplication of demand, there is an EDI bulk order, and then there is a manual bulk order, and now I've got duplication. It might drive my entire supply chain. We want your business users to know that before that duplication hits your supply chain, rather than trying to mitigate challenges around how do I cancel a demand element after the fact. Oversold transactions, undersold transactions, a tree view of exactly how this demand is looking, being able to track and trace inbound shipments, outbound shipments. Now, those are things for people who actually get the work done. From an executive perspective, the same solution provides visibility into how are we tracking to the revenue for this particular month. If there is a revenue forecast of $222 million, and if $12 million of that revenue is going to be delayed because it is still in production or it is still stuck in transit, how do I make sure that the executives and the managers know beforehand so they can take some action rather than at the end of the month realizing that certain shipments could not make the cut? And last but not the least, inventory. I will not name certain companies, but a number of apparel footwear companies have taken significant inventory write-offs last year and even this year. We have looked at the entire data model of apparel footwear and said really it's not about inventory visibility. What is more valuable is to be able to tell business how we reached here. How did we get to the inventory that does not have corresponding demand? So if I could pinpoint to you whether an order cancellation or whether a late arrival from the vendor or whether some seasonality impact or whether an incorrect forecast or an incorrect purchase order resulted in that inventory, I think you have a better shot at making sure that those inventory problems don't show up. Now, all of these is enabled in a real-time storyboard. It is enabled with visualization, which is interactive, so users can make live decisions. Users can work through alerts and exceptions. Users can collaborate with internal and external stakeholders. We enable this. What I'm going to show you today is enabled in 4 to 6 weeks for large SAP customers live in their production environment. So that's only possible because we have significant amount of configurability in the application. And then the live information also provides you an ability to predict certain challenges and maybe prescribe certain actions. So I think I have spoken about a lot of significant, as I said, 10 things that we do for AFS out of the box. We are going to show this application to you. Now, certain things to keep in mind as we move forward. The solution itself is offered in the form of a monthly subscription. It's a low-cost monthly subscription, typically for the price of an FTE. It is pre-integrated with SAP. That's the only way to make sure that the outcome is live for you in less than 4 to 6 weeks. The subscription typically includes the cloud, where we enable this solution for you. It also includes SAP HANA. So the solution is powered by SAP HANA. The customer does not need to either own HANA, nor does the customer need to be running their business on HANA. So if you're running on ERP or AFS or SAP Retail, you have a plan for S4HANA, you have a plan for FMS, the solution fits right in and goes along with your roadmap. As I said, deployed in 4 to 6 weeks, and it enables real-time operations for you. It is available on mobile devices, which means you can certainly download the application from the Apple App Store or the Google App Store, and you get a feel for the application. It is live on mobile and it is live on desktop. Today's session, we will primarily focus on the desktop version of it. So with that, I would like to start with the demo itself, just to make sure, to validate that I have successfully switched the screen to the application. Vikas, can you confirm that you can see the OpsVeda application?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Yes. So here is an application which is running live on the cloud. Let me make sure that I am still connected. Let's log in. So here is an application that is running live on cloud. It is powered by SAP HANA. It is connected to SAP AFS, SAP Retail, and certain other supply chain systems and partners. The application itself, we will not focus. As I said earlier, we enable solutions for retail, on-shelf availability, where there is shortage and so on, order fulfillment, customer service, allocations, management of revenue, being able to check in from a predictive fulfillment perspective, or looking at a POM level, where is my shortage with respect to the fill rate, sourcing, inbound shipments, tracking the carrier shipments, and being able to track exactly, which means live integration with the carriers to be able to see which shipments are delayed where, logistics, what's in my DC, what is delayed, and so on. We'll focus a little bit on inventory and then a few other elements. Let's start with customer service. So I'm in customer service. My role is to make sure that all demand is fulfilled in a timely manner within the ship window that my customer mandates, not before the start dates, not after the cancel dates, and we are maximizing the fill rates. We are meeting all of our customer requirements, customer ship requirements. So my power users have already pre-configured the system for me, and it tells me as soon as I come to work, before I get my first cup of coffee, rather than run multiple reports, I click on a link, and this link tells me all the exceptions which are impacting my business, whether it is cancellation dates incoming, incomplete transactions, cancel date mismatch, too many items on a single sales order, pricing issue, start date issue, different start date, 3PL is working on a different start date versus what the system says, label issues, and so on. If I wanted to, so all kinds of things that your business deals with, it has already been pre-configured, which means your business, we typically tell our customers that you see this view in 3 weeks from the time we start working with you. In 3 weeks, you would see your data and your process streaming live, and then we take week 4, 5, and 6 to configure this further, because when data is real time, you need to make sure that the users are given very, very specific storyboards so that they can make it as actionable as possible. So I come to work. Before I get my coffee, I take a look at these exceptions. I don't like label mismatch personally. So label mismatch might mean that my customer specific requirement says one kind of label while the inventory sitting in the warehouse or the DC has a different kind of label. I can see if I don't like charts, I can focus on the grid. I can see various kinds of transactions that are impacted. I can drill down into some of these transactions, or if I know the details of this, I can send a message to a colleague of mine and say, hey, Roger, can you take care of these transactions, and so on and so forth. So I have ability to collaborate with my customers, that are internal stakeholders. If I wanted to annotate certain transactions with certain details, I can annotate the collaborative message here. And of course, anytime I see a grid in OpsVeda, I can download it with the click of a button. So essentially, what we are really trying to do here is also to make sure that, one, the information is live, second, the intelligence is offered as soon as I come to work, and then if I needed to take it out, I'm able to take that out either in the form of spreadsheets or in the form of downloading the entire storyboard for my customers, for my management, or be able to download a specific chart and so on and so forth. So beyond taking care of exceptions, in my specific role, I take care of all shippable transactions, what is filled, positive ATS, negative ATS. As I explained, negative ATS is a complex case where there is total demand exceeds total supply, and some high priority customer might be denied stock. I can take care of, I can click through those and I can initiate certain actions. I'm taking a look at transactions with IDOC errors. I'm taking a look at transactions where maybe I can offer an alternative label to a customer. The order points to one location while the inventory is sitting in a different DC. I can do some of that. Maybe an alternative product could be offered. After that, I go get my coffee, and then I switch to other things that I do, typically after I have my first cup of coffee. I'm now looking at all contracts which are not 100% filled. So if I click through that, I would see time-phased fill rates, and I would see which transactions today the fill rate is 75% versus when I meet customer threshold and so on. I see contracts with positive and negative ATS. Quite often when we have significant customers with whom we do EDI, certain bulk orders come through EDI, and then certain bulk orders also get entered manually. Sometimes there's duplication of demand. So if I wanted to click in, it tells me exactly for Nordstrom, in this particular case, which I clicked, it tells me exactly which transactions there might be duplication, right? So the system automatically sees the ship windows, they see the materials ordered, they see the quantities ordered, and then it says, okay, here is a potential overlapping contract number, overlapping document, which means now my customer service person can go take some actions. So this is my role as customer service. I take care of these. I can also take a look at delivery exceptions which are incomplete transactions. If I've got X number of transactions in my patch and the DC is working off of a different timeline and stuff like that, so I can jump into those challenges. My allocators have a different view. The allocators need to see, we talked about Aaron takes 9 hours to run. Aaron with SAP's sales order rescheduling SOAR powered by HANA takes 45 minutes to run. Within OpsVeda, the allocation preview takes 60 seconds to run. And in 60 seconds, my system is telling me exactly, looking at the entire footprint of demand and supply and rules and sort rules and prioritization. What portion is in pick, what is allocated, what is on hand but yet unallocated, what is in transit, what is work in process, what is late and what is not covered, and I can drill down into some of these things. I'm not limited to the entire company. So depending upon, if I wanted to only focus on bulk transactions, let's say I'm an allocator for bulk, I can jump into exactly what's happening in bulk in that particular patch. What's the portion of transactions which are impacted either due to pricing issue or due to start date mismatch or due to incorrect pair and so on and so forth. Now within bulk, if I wanted to, I can jump into all those transactions which are not covered and I can take certain actions. Once again, Aaron takes 9 hours, OpsVeda takes 60 seconds. And I'm highlighting this because this is the data model which is in real time replicating everything, all changes. Overnight or just an hour ago, 1,000 line items got dropped in through EDI. OpsVeda knows exactly what Aaron would do. What would Aaron do if you ran it right at this moment? That's what this information is going to tell you, and if I click through it, it will show me all kinds of other details. So my team lead, from an oversight perspective, they're also looking at pick tickets across my DCs, which transactions are past cancel, past MABD, must arrive by date, which transactions are approaching cancel. So I in customer service typically don't worry about a transaction once it is dropped in the DC. I would only like to be alerted when the deliveries dropped in the distribution center are actually missing the timeline which my customer has mandated. So having that integration often helps. So we do integrate with various WMS systems in order to make sure that this information is live and real time for you. Various kinds of cycle time metrics and so on. My executives, so the same data set which tells the customer service and business users and sales ops users what they need to do when they come to work, the same data set when cumulated across the entire patch is telling my executives and people who are more looking at it from a P&L perspective, what is the portion of that transaction which is already invoiced. Now this is not a good news. We are into 20th of this month and we only have 161K invoice, which is bad. We have $43 million in pick. Of course, it is high potential because it is already in picking. 57 million being directly shipped. 13 million being directly shipped. And eventually I have, as you go down the list, I have got certain transactions which are confirmed transactions, but they are late. So that's a risk element. Customer wants it this period, but it is late at this moment. There are certain other confirmed transactions which are still under manufacturing. So these are risky transactions. So rather than give reports to my executives which tell them where we are, how we are doing, the system is providing visibility into which transactions are at risk. So I can click through those transactions. It will show me what vendors are involved or what locations are involved. I can either take an action and go alert the customer. I can alert my executives, or I can go talk to my planner or the manufacturer and say, hey, we need to expedite this. So when I look at within confirmed on hand, which my system would say say this $9.8 million is definitely shippable this period because it is confirmed. But within those confirmed transactions, there is a small segment which is under credit issue. There is a segment which is oversold. There is a segment which is incomplete. Now I have a way to take certain actions against them. If I wanted to look at my entire business across either sales organizations or distribution centers or my top customers, and I wanted to see what are the risk transactions across these customers, I see that there is a significant, there is $3 million of shipment that I need to make to Macy's, which is under risk, which means it was on the right side of the waterfall that I just showed you. I can click through those transactions and see why we are impacting Macy's the way we are impacting it. Your business is complex. So I wanted to take a look at let's see, that I gave the example of JCPenney POM or certain customers which are telling you there is a fill rate of 75% that is required, or if there is a shortage, I need to know which is the shortage line, right? Your data model is complex, extremely complex. You don't only have to deal with various styles. You have various sizes. You might have shortage of the size 32 by 34 while you have got everything else available full. So in real time, the system is querying. I just checked the purchase order number, and against that PO, system tells me that there is positive ATS for every line item on that PO except one particular material, one particular size. I can click through this size, and it tells me that on this particular PO, POM, this particular size has got 6% contribution, and that's the quantity that is open. What is the corresponding demand? What is the corresponding supply? So now this is not showing you. This is painting the picture of the exact amount of shortage. So if you had your business users on the call, they would say, I spend hours chasing where is the shortage against my shipment. Where is the shortage against an order? Because customer wants 95%, I can't tell which size is short. If I do that analysis, I might take a few hours in order to do that. OpsVeda in real time is telling you across various sizes, what's the positive ATS versus where is it red? If I need to go talk to the customer and say, hey, I am missing this size, can I still ship it to you? Or otherwise, I can go check when is that size coming. So if I wanted, I can go to my material perspective, I can click that material, and then it will tell me exactly what the supply-demand situation looks like for that particular SKU. But I'm not going to go there. There are a few other things to show. If we were connecting, once OpsVeda is authorized with the customer's account with respect to UPS, FedEx, and other carriers, system is able to capture inbound EDI shipments and inbound web services, all inbound shipments and how they're going. So in real time, the system is able to capture what kind of delays I have by destination, my various DCs, or by various ports where this might be stuck. So if I wanted to see what is stuck at Port of LA, I can click through this. It can show me details of which purchase orders are impacted against that particular shipment, and it can tell me in detail details of that purchase order and what kind of business events have happened against that particular purchase order. So we can do that. I did mention inventory at the very beginning. So inventory is a big problem in our industry. If at the beginning of a season I have got good prices, if I can move that inventory, that's great. But along the way, as the season progresses, we realize that while the gross margins were fantastic at the beginning of the season, towards the end, if I've got significant amount of inventory left, then I have an issue. What I have, let me focus this view. So I have significant amount of issues if I've got lots of inventories left, because towards the end, the inventory that is not sold has an impact towards impacting my gross margin. So it can wipe away all of my profits, all of my margins, if we are not able to clear that inventory. So we said everyone has visibility into where my inventory is eventually based upon certain BI reports and what is the relative aging for that inventory. And by the way, in our demo system, the aging is pretty bad. Some of you might have this environment in your company, but hopefully most inventory is aged no more than 150 days, because after that it becomes, it really erodes value. So the system is able to provide a view into all inventory across all product lines where there is no current demand, which means there is no other orders, there is no bulk orders, or there is on-hand inventory significantly exceeds demand, which means clearly we need to make sure that the corresponding purchase orders are cancelled. If we can take a look at what that inventory is, could I actually pinpoint an inventory against Calvin Klein? Did that inventory come in because certain transactions were cancelled? Did that inventory come in because certain transactions were returned? Did that inventory come in because it was seasonal and there was a specific forecast that was entered? Or did that inventory come in because a planner made a mistake and just placed an order or did not cancel an order? Or was it because it was late arrival, we passed our ship dates, and therefore we could not do much about it? And then inventory by brand, by business units where there is no demand at all. There was never a demand. There was only a forecast. We got that inventory in, and now that inventory is sitting in my warehouse. This is the inventory that kills businesses. So let's take a look. If I am looking at inventory where there is no current demand, and if I wanted to focus, let's say, Calvin Klein, I want to look at transactions where there is back procurement, it gives me a drill down of the corresponding Calvin Klein inventory. And again, this can be done across brands, across product lines, across regions, and so on and so forth. We can drill down into whatever inventory that got created. And we are looking at materials, we are looking at sizes, we are looking at business units, plant codes, what's the excess amount of inventory. And for this particular product, the excess inventory, is it based upon the order cancellation that happened against this particular order? For this, right? In some cases, it is because the forecast was bad. In some cases, it came late. In some cases, there was a return. So if there is an ability to drill down into why we created inventory, we believe that there is an opportunity to save money for your business so that we don't repeat this process. So live system, it gives me ability to go take action before things impact my top line or bottom line. Over time, the system also helps me improve my process to make sure that we become a well-run business. Now, one last thing from a demo perspective, two things. So one, if I wanted to see from an inventory view, if I wanted to actually drill down into a specific product, so if I wanted to drill down and see exactly what SAP saw or what my other ERP system saw, let's first look at demand. So the original demand for this particular product and all of these different sizes involved over here was so much. The actual demand was net of rejection, which means there is an order that came and that got rejected over here in April, and then the open sales order. So clearly the first line was a bulk order. The purple line is the sales order. So the sales order came in over here. So bulk followed by sales order, followed by a rejection. If I look at on-hand inventory for this, the on-hand inventory was actually pretty low, and then eventually it picked up. If I look at open POs against this inventory, so clearly there was a purchase order, and eventually the on-hand came in. So there was a receipt here, there was a receipt here, and that is how this happened, and therefore the total supply has been so much. Now we see that the supply exceeds demand, and therefore this is an example where we need to take certain actions. So needless to say, the data that is required to do this analysis in real time against a basket of products or against an individual product is all being modeled in OpsVeda in real time. So this is one information hub on top of your entire operations that can be implemented in 4 to 5 weeks, and you can have an outcome. So one last thing, a lot of you have retail, so retail shipments, retail fulfillment, stock into retail, whether you have retail and e-commerce and wholesale, there is an omni-channel view of inventory. If I wanted if I want to query near out of stock situations, I can click through those situations. I can see where there is a potential shortage, and the system is intelligent enough to tell me where there is a red. Those are the places where on one hand I have a shortage, potential shortage. I have a future lost sales situation, and I don't have a corresponding supply element which is going to take care of this shortage. So where else I've got shortage, but I do have a supply element, I am okay because there's a corresponding sales order and shipment which is coming in. But then I have got certain products which are short, and there is no corresponding supply. So something to watch for. I'm going to stop here and switch it back to Vikas. Can you take this from here?
Sure. Thank you, Sanjeev. That was actually an amazing demo. I hope everyone in this session, our friends, ASUG team, AFS experts, and our prospective customers, I know some of them are on the call, found this to be very informative and inspiring. Just to summarize, OpsVeda addresses long allocation run times with real-time, less than 60 seconds allocation process and visibility into your demand, supply, on-hand, and projected inventory. OpsVeda helps you identify and optimize situations such as customer-driven fill rate requirements that often result in penalties or lost sales. We help address situations arising with inventory buildup that often is the result of the efforts to meet some of these customer fill rate requirements and preventing out-of-stock situations. As you saw in the live demo today, OpsVeda can not only help you get a handle on the excess inventory or aging, but also help you analyze reasons why there was a buildup, if specific order cancellation caused it, if late arrival of inventory resulted in lost sales opportunity, if to begin with, forecasts were either not sufficient to cover the actual demand or were not realistic. In fact, OpsVeda goes beyond this analysis to help you predict and prevent such situations from happening in future. Further, to summarize, today actually we spent time primarily on some of those roles like sales, customer service, supply and logistics operation roles. However, the breadth and depth of the solution is such that after achieving success in these areas, OpsVeda can be deployed beyond wholesale to the retail side of your business for your planning team, in the compliance and branding teams, for tracking and tracing your receivables, payables, disputes, managing cash flow, and in the manufacturing, maintenance, service and repair area as may be appropriate in your specific industry or company situation. With the progress and trend towards connected devices, the high-tech wearables, clothing and accessories, there's been a lot of innovation, a lot of IoT talk and big data. You need a platform that can help you harness the power of big data and establish your company as a brand that is at the leading edge of innovation. OpsVeda is a platform with product roadmap that can help you with this transformative business shift or new lines of business or streams of revenue. Of course, this would be a topic of discussion for another day and another session. As Sanjeev already alluded to, these are just a few marquee customers of OpsVeda. Each of them has a story, some specific pain points or reasons. For example, Genentech, the first one in the list. It was about track and trace, quality compliance, managing discrepancies throughout the entire procurement and manufacturing process. The second one, which won a SAP HANA Innovation Award last year, is the Global Brands Group, which is a $3.5 billion company, part of Li & Fung Limited, as some of you may already know. GBG was facing challenges in the customer service, managing allocations, and several aspects that we primarily saw in the solution demo today. Apart from some of the financial benefits for the business, our project sponsor stated that OpsVeda helped end users achieve up to 40% of the productivity and improvement. Another interesting implementation was with Juniper Networks earlier this year. Juniper signed up a contract with us just 5 weeks before actually going live with SAP. As some of you know, some of these implementations are long. Juniper was working through and were perfecting with the testing and cutover planning for over 3 years then. Instead of going live at the same time with SAP, we recommended to turn on OpsVeda a week after SAP go live. Now, this helped them not only validate and confirm successful SAP deployment, but also identify additional gaps in supply chain, master data, transactions, and ensuring that no transaction fell through the cracks after go live. Obviously, it is also helping them now to run live, manage exceptions on a day-to-day basis and make business process improvements. In the last few ASUG chapter meetings, and even from Sapphire or ASUG in Orlando, one thing was loud and clear, that SAP is transitioning towards HANA, and in particular, S4HANA. Unfortunately, the strategy shift from native or BI HANA to S4HANA has created confusion in terms of the message, a message that has led many customers to adopt a wait-and-watch approach for a few years. Basically allowing S4HANA to mature. Also to point out, we have got recognition from industry analysts such as Gartner and ARC advisory group in the last few years now. So with OpsVeda, you don't have to wait. We bundle the power of HANA with AWS Cloud and can enable live operations for you in less than 4 to 6 weeks. Actually, let me walk you through how. In week 1 to 2, we stand the environment, including setting up OpsVeda on cloud or on-premise if that is a requirement. Establish connection with your existing SAP, AFS, or ECC system, and with legacy warehouse management systems such as your Red Prairie or Manhattan, if you have them. In weeks 2 to 3, we enable out-of-the-box storyboards specific to your scope and roles. We ensure all relevant in-scope activities, processes, attributes are mapped and streaming into OpsVeda development and quality system. In weeks 4 to 5, OpsVeda solution experts study the data. As you know, the data tells a story, so we confirm and validate the story, refine as necessary, and then we work with your business analysts or super users to play back and refine the storyboards further as necessary. Voila! In week 6, you're live. OpsVeda is available for productive use and is streaming actionable intelligence. So your frontline operations team is taking day-to-day decisions, and management gets visibility into performance, monthly sales potential, or address significant issues that require tactical or even strategic decision-making at the executive level. Now, all this happens with minimal involvement and resources from your business or IT teams. Having been a long-term SAP deployment guy myself, I can tell you it's not easy for traditional IT teams to fathom or imagine that a powerful solution like OpsVeda can be deployed in such a short time. For those interested, we could talk again at the end of the session and even get you to speak to Juniper Networks or any of our other customers to validate this or simply learn from the lessons they have learned. So to conclude, we would like to encourage you to think about the challenges your team faces today. For example, do you know why you have access or inventory shortage problems? How you can predict the situations in future? Are you losing sales or margins due to leakage caused by out of stock, difficulty managing SLAs, or meeting customer compliance needs? Is it taking long time for your BI team to give you reports that you need? Or has your business team resigned to dealing with multitude of extracts and Excels? Are you always being reactive, expediting, or working to negotiate reduction in penalties? Whatever your pain point or opportunity to improve may be, we are here to talk to you today and offline after the session. Finally, we have an exciting announcement, an exciting promotion for the first 3 apparel, fashion, and footwear customers. We are actually giving away a no-charge OpsVeda onboarding and no-charge subscription for a few months if you qualify. Please reach out to us via email or call us directly to discuss and arrange a tailored demo for your company. At this point, Lauren, Sanjeev, back to you. Sanjeev and I are open for Q&A.
Okay. Hey, Joshua, could you help us through the Q&A? Any questions that have come in?
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. Let me take a look at the questions here. I think the first question we have here is, how much does it cost?
That's probably not the best question to answer in a live webcast, but needless to say, it costs less than 1 or 2 FTEs, full-time employee equivalents, in order to have this self-running on cloud, includes SAP HANA, includes all extractors, includes the kind of outcomes that we showed you today.
Right.
So we can take that question offline. Whoever asked that question, I'll be happy to answer it separately, or you can reach out to me.
No problem. Yep. All right, next question we have here. Does everybody get the same thing, or can you customize the solution?
Every business is different. Having said that, the back-end environments are not that very different. So every solution can be customized, very specific to your business rules, very specific to the metrics, very specific to the KPIs and business measures that your business is used to. Extremely configurable, and that configurability is significant in order for us to be able to tell a customer, guarantee to a customer that, hey, 3 weeks deployed live with your data, with your process streaming, and then week 4, 5, and 6, we configure with you, right? So every customer gets exactly what they need, what their business demands.
Got it. Okay. All right. Next question we have here. So question about, looks like real-time and just kind of what kind of adapters do you have? So I guess maybe the question's around a little bit like you talked about earlier around connectivity and what you support.
Yeah, so we have built adapters for all kinds of contracts, orders, inbound shipments, outbound shipments, billing documents, purchase orders, goods receipts, ASNs, and manufacturing and quality notifications, inventory movements, and so on. So there are live extractors, which means anytime anything happens in the backend system, whether it's through EDI or through any other transaction, through allocation runs or through holds and so on, automatically data or certain business events are streamed into OpsVeda live. As that data streams in, it is analyzed as it comes in, so that from a user perspective, the storyboard is current as of 60 seconds. So we have our own adapters. Our customers don't need to build any adapters. They only need to import our transports. Those transports get activated, and then the system is live. That's how it becomes real time. All analysis happens as data is streaming, which is the same as data is changing in SAP. The impact is visible in OpsVeda on mobile or on the desktop.
One more question. I don't think Josh got to it. Do I need to be running HANA or normal AFS ECC? Is that fine?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question, because often customers get confused. No, customers could be running whatever the normal ERP they're running, the ECC, SAP ECC or non-SAP systems. They could be running SAP AFS. They could be running SAP Retail. They don't need to be running HANA. They don't need to know about HANA. It just so happens that OpsVeda leverages the HANA database. So you could be running whatever you're running, and we make this outcome real time for you. You don't need to buy HANA. HANA is bundled as part of our monthly low-cost subscription service.
Okay, great. Well, that is all the questions that we have. So I want to thank you both so much for your time and your content today, and also thank Josh for moderating. So just a reminder to those on the call, we do have a brief survey that we'd like you to complete to get feedback. It's very important for us to continue to put on webcasts that are of interest to our ASUG members. So thank you once again, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their day.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Thanks, everyone, for joining. We appreciate your time. We look forward to working with you.
Yeah. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, Lauren.